Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. This is episode number 2, and I just happen to have a friend with me today. It's my youngest son. Nick is here, and he's going to be reading the recipe and keeping me on track, and it could get quite comical, so just know that it will be a little bit different version today. We're doing the recipe that's on the front of the 29 minutes to dinner. It's volume 2, and we're doing this recipe, which is, Nick, would you like to say what it's called? It's called Cheesy Chicken, and I'm not sure how to say it. Chilaquiles. I'm not sure, and that is probably not correct, but that's what we are making, and he is laughing at me. So there's nothing about me that is Mexican at all. So we're going to start with the recipe. And let me just tell you what I've already done. I've already taken the deep cover baker and cut the chicken up. It called for 1.5 pounds of chicken. I went ahead and cut the chicken up into bite-sized pieces and then put 1 tablespoon of our Southwestern seasoning mix in it. And this is really good. I use this in my fajitas. I love to do grilled pan chicken and put this on that. It's just a great seasoning. The more you use, the spicier it is, but it's just a great sauce. Nick, do you like this seasoning? You like it on your chicken, don't you? Okay. And if we don't hurry, the chicken's going to be gone, and we're not going to have anything to put in there because he's eating it because it's already been cooked. So we're cooking this in the deep covered baker. Deep covered baker, as you know from episode 1, one of my favorites, and this is what we cooked the chicken in. It was 4 minutes. I stirred it, and then 4 more minutes. And so what we're going to do now, Nick, if you'll tell me what the next step is.
Combine the salsa and the broth.
Okay, so the salsa. And we've got salsa verde. And I'm going to take this. I do have him here, and I could have him to open it for me, but this is our little easy opener. It's got a magnet on the back so it can stay on the refrigerator. Opens up your 2-liter Coke bottles. Has a little spot right here that you can open up the tops of cans or a top of a Coke can. But this piece on the other end is what we're going to use when you've got a small jar like this, like a Bama jam jar. And listen real close. It does that little pop that's pretty impressive, and it opens right up. So that's very easy to use. And how much of the salsa do we need?
That's a good question.
It's up at the top under the ingredients.
1 3/4 cup.
1 3/4 cup, which by golly, look at there. It's exactly 16 ounces is 1 3/4 cup. So there we go. So we've got that in here. And that is the green salsa verde. And we're going to mix that with...
the broth.
How much broth?
1 cup.
1 cup. 1 cup of broth. Okay, so we're going to take this salsa verde and pour that right here into our small batter bowl. And we're going to do 1 cup of broth. And these easy read measuring cups are awesome because they got the measurements inside, and if you can see, they are shaped on an angle, so as I measure, I can see the measurements on the inside and not have to pick it up and look around and see how much we actually have. Okay, so we're going to mix these two together. Is that correct, Nick? If I mess up the recipe today, it's his fault. Okay, awesome. All right, so now what are we going to do?
Chop the cilantro using the knife.
Okay, knife is the Santoku knife. The Santoku knife is right here. This is our smallest Santoku knife, and I love these knives. They've got the little divots down on the side, and that helps to keep things from sticking to them. So we're going to take this cilantro, and we need, how much cilantro do we need?
3/4 cups.
3/4 of a cup. So I'm going to say it's going to be a lot of cilantro. So I'm just going to take this cilantro, put it up, and when you're holding a large knife, and this one is not that big, you put your thumb on one side, your finger on the other, and wrap your fingers around it. You don't do it this way. You actually hold it this way and wrap your fingers around. So we're just going to take this, and then you pull these other fingers back, just like this. And this is more of a chopping knife. A chef's knife, you ruck it through, but this one is more of a chopping type of knife, and it is really one of my favorites. Keep those fingers pulled back so that you do not slice your finger and have extra protein in your food. Okay, Nick, so what else are we going to do now?
You're going to put the chips over the bottom of the baker.
And it calls for about 12 cups of chips. And that sounds like a lot of chips to me, but I went and got these Tostitos, and they are the gluten-free chips. You know that I'm trying to do as much gluten-free. So we're just gonna lay some across the bottom, is that right?
After you chop them up or break them.
I am breaking them. Am I doing good?
Excellent.
All right. Do we like Mexican food, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite Mexican food that we cook?
Does it have to be a favorite chef?
No.
Enchiladas.
Enchiladas. You like our cheesy enchiladas that we do,
Mm-hmm.
okay? How about the fajitas?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so I've got those in the bottom. And now, what are we going to put in? What are we going to do?
You're going to put the chicken and the salsa mixture and cheese in it.
Chicken, salsa. Was the chicken supposed to go in? Okay, so we have put in the chips in the bottom and kind of crushed them up a little bit. And then we have added the salsa, half the sauce, and then half the chicken is in here. And now we put half of the cheese, and we did grate that cheese. And probably I need to explain to you why I don't buy the grated cheese. The grated cheese has cellulose in it. Cellulose is sawdust, and that's what's on that grated cheese. It's real fuzzy, and it keeps it from molding. But how many of us want to eat sawdust? When you buy the cheese and you actually grate it, and I grated it with this piece right here, and I'm just going to close it, so I just push that down and over, and it will close it up. But so I grated it, and so we have our 2 cups, and it's actually cheaper to do it this way too. It's going to melt, which is a huge deal. Parmesan cheese in particular, make sure you buy that in the little triangle and grate that yourself. It's so much better that way. Now this is the queso fresco, and I'm only using, you can see it comes in a chunk like this, and I'll just take off a piece of it. I only used about 1/3 of it, and I've already crumbled it here, but it just crumbles just like this. It's a Mexican cheese that they'll put in their recipes, and so we're going to see how good this is. All right, so half of this also, I've already put half the cheese in, so the other half is this cheese. I'm going to sprinkle this in, and now the cilantro, do we do that yet?
Half a cup of it.
Half a cup of cilantro. And so we have cut that up. It's ready to go. And now we're going to repeat the layers.
Yep.
Okay, so the chips are here. So another layer of chips. Let's just pull these out. So if any of you are gluten-free, I'm sure you're finding a lot of the different recipes. And I mentioned in the first video that we made, the first recipe we did, that we do have a new gluten-free cookbook. So you'll want to be sure and check that out. Or we could do a show at your house, and we could do a gluten-free recipe night, and that would be a lot of fun. So we've got this in here. Now we're going to pour the rest of the salsa verde and the chicken broth right on top. Very good. And I'm using my mini scraper, which these are heat safe to 650 degrees. Now half of the chicken, the other half of the chicken. All right. And then the cheese, the rest of the cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all of the cheese. Oh, this is smelling so good. Yay. Thank you, Nick, for reading for me tonight.
You betcha.
Keeping me in track. Anything for me to feed him.
Oh, yeah.
So he's home and he's not eating pizza or not eating, where is it you go to eat all the time in Anderson?
Cookout.
Cookout. He's always going to Cookout because it is
Cheap.
cheap. Okay.
Quantity over quality.
Quantity over quality. So when he comes home, we try to have a little bit of quality here. All right, so all of that's in. Is that it?
Yep.
Now what are we to do? I'm going to wash my hands real quick.
You're going to microwave it, covered, on high for 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay.
Or until cheeses are melted.
All right, microwave it covered on high. And I want to show you this real quick. These are our newest little tools that we have, little silicone oven mitts. And it's great for picking up that lid just like so. And it's nice and hot. It makes it very, very simple to pick that lid up. So that's really fun. Fun to have.
They look like the licorice lips.
They look like what?
The licorice lips.
The the licorice lips.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Nick. Licorice lips. Okay. All right, so while we're waiting on that, we get to clean up. We can put everything away. I have been using our bowls tonight, though. These are my new cereal bowls. This is with our porcelain set that we have. We have the plates, the bowls, the saucers, and we also have some of the serving pieces too, but they're very lightweight. They're chip resistant, and I have thoroughly enjoyed having these in my kitchen. So this is our new Simple Additions line, and they are just really pretty and fun to have in the kitchen. Okay, we'll come back in just a little bit when the recipe comes out, and I'll show you exactly how it looks. Okay, it's out of the microwave. It's ready to go. 5 minutes, and it's been sitting here just for a few minutes, and the cheese and the cilantro are on top, and it is beautiful, and it smells good, doesn't it, Nick?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I am going to plate his real quick. And I know he's really hungry, so I'm going to make sure he gets lots. Let me get your plate here. And look at all that gooey cheese. Yum. Okay, do you want sour cream on yours? No sour cream. All right, so here it is on the plate. It's absolutely gorgeous. So enjoy, and thank you for all your help you did today. And this is the end of video number 2. Bye-bye.